array. The mindness at the mystery font. That's what this place is? Right. Wait. I'm having an episode. I am having an episode, I think. It's all right. It's definitely all right. But I think we're having an episode. It feels like an episode of mystery font 42. Ope Intuit. Good gray array. Good gray array liaised mind maze. Mind may be game to play today, elate. Relay the lovely liminal campaign. Pretend that love is sane. Pretend that love is sane. Radio science brain. Mind made this contain ample aid. Mind may be game, in fact, to play today. Mind may be nature your creature would create and might ape. If you imagination aim and make that clarion shape, pretend the kindness came in your spades, radio, science, braids, waking wax out of wane from your mind, they became spinning plates made of mad clay into sentient brain freight, spinning mad clay to sane plates of illumination, substrates, mindness made, mindness came to play, mind say, might may be game this day and every night and day and moment. Mind may, mindness may be kindness, mindness may just want to play with us. Imagine chaos is play-awesome enough to be us tumbling as if we would tumble from this thus. We would remember it's worth keeping safe and of trust. Imagination bus, imagination this can be conduit of omnibus. This imaginate wave waking wax out of wane, radio, science, brain, mind made. Mindness aid from aim, clarion grade, emancipation aid, mind made this absolute acclaim, radio, science, brain. Mindness made this aim into aid of absolute acclaim, radio, I am to blame. Radio, science, brain, imagination aid, mindness made this captive ate or captive aid or captive hay. I'm waving through this window. Imagine this brain waves, not in vain. Mindness may be game, might be sane, might be plain to say. You are the mindness made me want play. Radio, science, bray. I hope you were singing along. This is the Mindness at the Mystery Font. I'm Tim Cameron. This is Fonted. Here, this Fonted house. And what with? And with such gentle grip and with past and future tip. There's always been as much to celebrate. There's always been as much to fear as now. How? Do we become a mindful, fun, safe tidal wave of intention that is as that is simply the mission of kindness. I know it's well underway. I'm just saying, specifically to meet the fascist threat, specifically to meet Project 2025, what is the resistance? And I think you know as much as anyone, because you may be essential to the resistance. You may be essential to the resistance. And it's up to you. You may be essential to the resistance, and it's up to you. Goodness, gray array. Mindness made this mind into aim, aid, kind, grade, find, fade. This is the mystery font. Yes. And we've begun artist visits once again. Yes, that's true. That's a good point. Do you ever find that while you haven't lost cognitive ability in terms of hardware or necessarily energy or anything, that your memory or your access to memory or your creativity or hope, things of that nature kind of goes offline, and that it's definitely associated with moments of panic, but also just associated with in general. And what I'm getting at is that because we are all in an abusive relationship with the failed former president, we are not able to self-regulate, and we are in a constant state of sub-terror. We are afraid, and our imagination and our ability to make rational decisions is compromised, whether or not we support the former president, including not being able to step out of the whirlwind of the permuting fog of hokum long enough to say, if you don't like being prosecuted for something and how that threatens your ambition to be elected to office, then who in the world would have advised you, including yourself, that doing such a thing, the kind of thing that threatens the presidency and the country and your own presidency and everyone who's depending on you and the world because of the import of anyone, but a nation that is fairly powerful, one could say. The extreme recklessness shown, because we have had a lot of claims, white claims of there being evidence somewhere, and white claims of suspicion of evidence that is taken as evidence or enforced as somehow being like evidence. Meanwhile, where is one scrap of evidence that Donald Trump cares that he threatened democracy, or that if he didn't realize that that was happening, how massive and disqualifying an incompetency that is? Or, like, in any of this, there are numerous points that are damning. His going after Ruby Freeman and Shay Moss in and of itself is totally damning. No president who would do that to American citizens should be anywhere near a position of power. Ever again. That's insane. It was straight up terrorism and stochastic terrorism to cause harm. And you shouldn't have to want to prove otherwise. Like, you shouldn't have someone who is saying that they want to run for president shouldn't be making it so hard to make the case for them as a good faith actor, because he does not make that case, in fact, really. He is not a good faith actor. He is not running for president. He is running for the leverage to take over. Period. He did it before. In that once he was elected and people were shocked that he was suddenly not going to hold press conferences, potentially, and that he had, in his first press conference, purposely vaunted a massive lie that was demonstrably false in a deeply, like Orwell in real life move. And people say, what's going on? And his answer is gaslight, or I won. As in, I have the scepter. I'll smash who I want. I'll break whatever I want. Obviously, we shouldn't have let him continue the debate without asking him, is that your final answer, when he said, I'll keep you in suspense. That was a threat. That neither Hillary Clinton nor Chris Matthews saw that as the moment to say, is that your final answer? and hear the answer, and if it remains the same, say, we're done. You can leave the stage. We're not going to entertain someone who's asking us to allow you to keep the United States in suspense about a tentpole of democracy. You'll tell us at the time? Wrong answer. You are relieved of the privilege of running for president. That should have been like the trap door opens metaphorically or literally. And he is taken somewhere safe and advised you probably will not be allowed in the room with the president anymore either. You know, you've cemented some suspicions today. Thank you. That should have been that. But allowing him to foment a cult of personality through simply giving him space on camera constantly and deference to just keep the mic on no matter what he's saying. It's batshit. But truly, when thinking about evidence, not in terms of words said, where's one scrap of evidence that he takes seriously what happened on January 6th other than as leverage? And I don't remember people showing up. I don't remember J. Edgar Hoover showing up at Martin Luther King's jail cell. I don't remember Lyndon Johnson showing up there. I don't remember enemies showing up to hold his hand and sing with him and record songs. For someone to go and sing songs and record an anthem, a nationalistic anthem, with people who he tricked or coaxed, whether or not they were fooled by him. The violence and the crime and the sedition, the treason there is real. And for him to gaslight and say, oh, actually there was nothing wrong, and say that he's coming back, that he did nothing wrong, but is essentially asserting that it's fine for him just to come back and keep attacking. What other outcome is there? What other meaning of that is there? He tried to end us. He tried to conquer us. His Nazi M, Stephen Miller, architected family separations that are Nazi-level abomination. And the barbed wire of mismanagement and intentional mismanagement, it seems, by Stephen Miller, keeps people separated to this day. That was vandalism of human lives. Stephen Miller is a terrorist. He is a murderer, and he is a terrorist. Period. What have these people done? What have these dark triad predators done that shows any respect? Because if you respect what you're dealing with at all, you hear people's boundaries, and if you're showing up for the court dates. Why are you treating people like garbage? Why are you treating the court system of your nation like garbage? That is not leadership material. That is dictator or speculator for ripping up something for parts. We are not safe with Donald Trump in charge of a restaurant or a bus or a boat We are not safe with Donald Trump in charge of anything. It is absolutely ridiculous. Let him stay at your house if he will stay there. But other than that, he pooped in the soup. And pray what evidence is there that he gives a fuck that he did it? And he says he did nothing wrong, and he's coming back to keep going. Totally, totally insane to think that there is any evidence at all that he means us goodwill. Totally, totally insane. And the test would be to confront, if you have trouble believing that Donald Trump is a danger to humanity, if you have trouble believing that he grabs a word like derangement and scolds and prods and grooms people into calling anyone with critique deranged, and to lash out with that as if deranged. It is a command, it is a projection, and it is a projection because it is a derangement that he wants to incite, and that is certainly within the lie spectrum that he inhabits. We are not safe with someone who will do anything to conquer and is happy to conquer us. Think about the logic of saying you can shoot someone in the street and not lose any voters. Is he saying he's going to shoot people who wouldn't vote for him? Is he saying, I don't consider someone that I killed worth anything, so they're not anybody? Like, he's saying this stuff out loud with language, and he picks his words, and he demonstrates and makes theatrical, dramatic, three-dimensional theatrical shape of things by pointing directly into a camera that records him saying, I would shoot people in the street and no one would hold me accountable. You don't threaten things that you don't, in some sense, mean to do or have done, carried out at your behest. It wasn't a joke when he said he would keep us in suspense. It's never been a joke. It is a yoke. And we got it off of us. If you're able to eject a vampire, do not invite them in another time. Let's wake up. The punishing venom of woke and DEI is bad is the Nazis talking. The Nazis like Ron DeSantis, and it sadly seems Elon Musk, and certainly Marjorie Taylor Greene and Tucker Carlson and Alex Jones. We have a bandwidth of some terrible people. People embracing deeply, deeply, deeply sick things, who would try to bring back, are trying to bring back, and entrench white supremacist patriarchal terrorism, as if it's not been the problem all along. And so how are we the resistance? How are we resilient? How are we caring for one another such that we can together deal with healing our American apartheid so we can actually get down to pursuing happiness? We're trapped in a capitalism that terrorizes human need and vulnerability in ways that are unproductive and create lives of pain that are wrong, that are abuses of human rights. And we shouldn't be farmed. And we shouldn't be farming anyone. We shouldn't have kids working in slaughterhouses. We shouldn't have child labor being reinstituted. There's a difference between a family restaurant or a family business and a culture that has different kinds of guards and norms, but the idea of it is truly abominable, the states that are voting and putting kids to work. It is insane. It is a theft of childhood, and that is not a small thing. It will break people and create lives of subjugation. It will create prison pipelines. It will ruin kids, and it will make people hopeless, which is terrorism. We don't have to create harm. We don't have to steal childhood. We don't have to steal the valuable years when people should be like learning and soaking up and being educated and in social situations so that they can be slaves to shitty people who would do that to kids. You're letting the worst people find and predate upon kids. Right wing. Again and again and again. It is cis white men, and let's look at how many people arrested for child porn, for attacking kids, for pedophilic stuff. Where is it happening? I bet per capita we would find it's happening a lot in the church. Why aren't people upset about everybody who wears a frock? Why? I'm not saying that anyone should be targeted, but I'm saying if MAGA were concerned about where the pedophiles are, why are churches still standing? Because MAGA are terrorists who go and burn shit down. It seems pretty clear. If you care about pedophiles, why are there people still in power in law enforcement and the church who are supporting it? Why are there people still in power in Congress who stand in the way of removing statutes of limitations in ways that protect predators? Why is patriarchal terrorism being instilled and incepted all over this nation? If you believe in freedom, why is it happening? Why is it literally being stolen from over half the population? MAGA are the Nazis. They're bringing that particle. They're bringing exactly that cancerous particle of intolerance and stoking the fears and false beliefs that there is some kind of math that works there other than saying that somebody gets to be exterminated. It is wretched and abominable that the mistake of letting someone do what is being done to Gaza in exactly the same manner of extermination is occurring. It is abominable. There's not another way to to talk about it other than a plan of extermination. I guess we lost Mike. We lost Mike. There we go. Well, we're back. Sound back. How do we apprehend and corral what's happening? How do we establish and foster the resistance? What is the falsehood? And who is the falsehood? A ball of yarn is called a clue. Who has donned the falsehood? The world may never know. But it's possible we may be able to decipher someday the identity of the falsehood. Ladies and gentlemen, and siblings, all. Good gray array, it is the falsehood after all. The falsehood. This stunning tale of intrigue, crime, murder, betrayal, and trauma, as well as healing and illumination. This tale is one that is not a movie and is not a TV show. It is not a play, although it will be a play. But this media and this play is interacting in real time with reality. We are in danger, and we are the reality distortion fielding. We are a fielding of lies and misperceptions, along with good information, and along with things that we've been depending on that maybe were built on poor foundations that we are starting to discern better and better. Who has permuted hokum into almost literal haptic being? Who has donned an age of normalizing crime through simple, unadulterated falsehood? Who has told us lying is smart? Who has told us, if you don't want me to use these tax loopholes you find so dirty, get rid of them. I'm smart to use them. And simultaneously, this is the same person who says to give him absolute power and immunity such that he can do whatever he wants and hurt anyone without ever having to think about being held accountable. Think about the cocktail of ideas he is projecting and demonstrating that he believes he deserves. He has told us he thinks he gets to grab people by the crotch. And he's been showing us with words and actions that those private parts include our nation's private parts. We are not safe with the person who won't reckon with the shit and blood on his pants from what happened on January 6th. What evidence do we have that he takes what he did seriously? And if he does not, on what planet does that demonstrate moral competency for office? We cannot allow a bad faith actor who means to dissolve our nation to take it over. We are the reality distortion fielding. You are in an abusive relationship. Shocking boundary violations are one common grooming tactic of a narcissist or dark triad personality. If someone in your life points into a camera knowing you'll be looking at the view screen and pulls their finger like a trigger, looking into your eyes, saying, I could shoot someone in the street and not lose anyone, it is a good indicator of a bad situation. You are in an abusive relationship. Who has leveraged and climbed upon a fog of falsehood? Who has donned the falsehood? Who is the falsehood? I can't live without so much. I can die without a clue. Sun keeps rising in the west. I keep on waking fully confused. I never seen no mountain, never swam in no sea. City got me drowning, I guess it's up to me. I can't live without your touch. I can't live without your touch. Cold without so much. Can die without a dream. Live without your touch. I'll die within your reach. Never seen no mountain, never swam in no sea. Drowning in the city. It's really up to me. I can't live without your touch. I can't live without your touch. I can't live without your touch. Die within your reach. Die within your reach. Die within your reach. Die within your reach. Interesting. It's an interesting song. That, of course, is a song by Paul Westerberg, as performed by The Replacements, and written by Paul Westerberg, I believe. I would imagine, I think he wrote most everything. Methinks. Yeah. It's not a condition of being, it's what you want. It's not not a condition of being. It's what you want. Why not? Come, be one, new under the sun. Ooh, we are a kindness. Come, be one. Come, be one. We are a kindness. Come, we are a kindness. Come, we are a kindness. Come, human. Come under the sun. Our kindness is where our kindness comes from. Our kindness is where our kindness comes from. Our kindness is where our kindness comes from. Oh, please remember you are one. Human on one spectrum. We are a kindness. Come. Our kindness is where our kindness comes from. You are a kindness. Come, you are a kindness. Come with every symptom. You are a kindness. Come, our kindness is where our kindness comes from. comes from. Please remember you are one human on one spectrum. Our kindness is where our kindness comes from. Our kindness is where our kindness comes from. Please remember you are one with every symptom. You are a kindness. Come, your kindness is where your kindness comes from. You are a kindness, come. You are a kindness, come. You are a kindness with every symptom. You are a kindness, come. Our kindness is where our kindness comes from. Our kindness is where our kindness comes from. Please remember you are one human on one spectrum. Come, be one. New under the sun. We are a kindness come. Good gray array. The liaised campaign of imagination aid, mind made as aim. Create candidate. Past blame, radio science brain, imagination aid, mind made this container contain, curiosity grade, waking wax out of wane as parade. This is mindness as mind made, let's say, be game. Potentially, mind may be a game to play today. Imagination may, in fact, itself be game. Predators prey. If we aren't play, we might be prey. Pray don't be prey. Play. Please be play. This is the mindness aidness. I want to contain this. I want also to aid this. And we might be nature that your ape would ape, that your mind would map, and your ape would scape. The goat escape, radio, science, break. Yes. Yes, I think it's worth relaying the findings of the font through a more, dare I say, traditional radio science brain sonnet. Is it a sonnet? I don't know that that's true upon it. I think that's maybe tripping a bit bluntly upon it. Let's do that which with that with which that's which that with do it into it. Thus. Here we go. Oh, that's not how I'm doing that anymore. I am cementing a new habit of how I actually can sync my singing to recorded tracks. So we are definitely I think we're going to be okay with this. This should work. Triggering from this. It's always an experiment, of course, but we are just trying a new configuration. And let's do that. My goodness. There's a lot of stuff on here. Okay. Particle matter wave, particle matter wave, behavior ape. Behavior apes your management and shape. Contain radio science brain. Waking wax out of Wayne. This is the mindless mindfully cantankerous craving. Linking wax out of Wayne became things. Waking wax out of Wayne. Radio science brain names. Rings be named rings through everything. Can be aware, be safe, be nature or creature. We are a renovation of imagination. Radio science brain germane. Science and task, science and ask, science and passionate, basking able to play, synaptically liaise the capital case and take the first place in your life. Imagination, imagination, radio science climbing kindness right with wise imagination came to surmise. This is the mindless climb against compromise where we need to rise. Radio science brain, radio science brain. Executive function, each and everyone. Imagination aids function. Imagination, calm your incantation. Beware. teacher to a brown you, be parent to the child you need to contain inside and deliver with. You're afraid or it will contain you. It will erase the trail you might lead through. You are your truth. Don't lose grasp on what only you would do. Maybe sane. Radio science brain, be you germane, your kindness, a germ of anti-blame, a germ of hope and climb. We are the climb across all time and light. Kindness came in a spectrum of stripes against strife. Perpendicular trains, parallel against hate, parallel now in lives in life. Your imagination can guide or imagination can guide us in our own lives. We are the champions of young youngs. We are the activation of how fun lets us know we're on to something, becoming. We're become. Imagination can take cantankerous potion. Radio science brain aid, where we can aid. There's agency of change available to everyone. We have genius in us. We have activation grade. Breaking wax out of a wing, perpendicular train, radio science brain. Mindless made, mindless aim into aid. Imagination made, mindless aim to aid. Imagination made, mindless aim into aid. Mindless capable of as play. Mindless or mindful, freeing mind for mindfulness. Patternicity grade wicking wax out, I wade in imagine it. Good gravy. Good gravy array. There, do we have some kind of, we're starting to remove that which might obscure, because we would like to be plain to viewer. We would like to be plain to viewer. We would like to be good golly, like that, for instance, where I see or can be seen as me in profile or other trajectory. It is the mystery font. Oh, I've discovered something. I've discovered a use for, yes, I've discovered a use. It's all coming together. It's all coming together. We'll knit this together. And so, this is the liminal space of an idea and claim. Pretend that came could come, pretend that come just came to play. Imagination may. Wake, wax of wane and say, this is a scient bray. I peel it like this day, each day, this bray is brained. Maybe it's how come came. I select a different backing track. It is now happening. These are not whoop, so wait, what, it would be this one. Yes. Nope. Yep. There we go. Hopefully this will play. It's very loud. There we are. I think that's better. Hello everyone. This is the mystery font. The mindedness at the font. Working with something that talks about how you are the dream awake. How you can ease any ache. You are the scient clarion sweet ache. Radio science break. You are the mindness aching aim as aid. We can wake wax from wane on parade, contain this contagious ache. Be nature, your ape would break. Radio science brain, be your creator's creation. Create creation, your gesture, your shape. Make it a passage, make it a journey you step through, step true. Steps you're stepping while not step through, where you step while I with steps too. Imagination may be game, may become true through you. Imagination may be game to play today. If you are game, remain. Radio science brain, pretending became aid through your sane sentience, becoming free, tending your pre and attention, your attention's convention of focus and mention your clenching. Waking wax out of wane, radio science brain. This is the mind that's made innate, a net in nature I would not forget. So I'd say it and sing it plain through play. Radio science brain particle matter wave would say. You are the brain awake. You are the renovation of love's imagination. Contain this container from pain. Unless it is pain that helps us to reface. If it's pain that's germane, radio science brain, otherwise let's hold sane. Activation to apprehend where pain is farming us and harming us. Imagination aid we trust. In this omnibus, we need not be persecuted for having need. We are human, we trust. Calling new Colossus. Calling new Colossus. Yes. Yes, I think that's fair. I'm calling new Colossus on all of us through radio voice. Because that seems official. No. Good gray array. Good gravy, good gracious. Good day. Good day indeed. There are spaces in every city that could be activated with something germane, something loved and lovable, maybe forgotten, maybe not, but something that would hold space in a way that would help. Dormant spaces in need of activation. We are actives. Actives can be agents of activation. With kindness, with thought, with art, with amphitheaters of attention, we can be a kindness come into someone's life when a space that was dormant or used all the rest of their life in the same ways that our society has been doing, making some similar mistakes of capitalism, of our brand so far of capitalism. And the way that we demonstrate what we value and how we foster it, or how we miss opportunities to do so, shows what we're looking for and what we're being sculpted and groomed to perceive. Because if our apprehension of life is us being sent to an accident scene and being asked to figure out what happened and report back, this is the scene of events that took place. The questions we're asking define massive things about what we find at every step, and about what we miss, and about what we reinstitute, or what we in fact take on from the accident. What is the mindful mindedness? What is the forensic and the prehensile, the pre-forensic, the sentinel intelligence that knows to take Nazis seriously when they say that they're coming, when they name something Project 2025 and say we're coming, to take them seriously and to help them get health care and accountability for all crimes, because we can tolerate anything but intolerance. What is the mindedness? What is the mindedness that helps us remember that we are a humanity together? What is it? We are going to why yes. Why yes, we are. Let's get another coffee going here. I'm going to take a moment and allow something to play. That's That's kind of weird. Aha, there we go. See, tech is dialing in. We're getting this. It's coming together here. Okay. Okay.
Supposed to be one. supposed to be one piece. They're 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 supposed to be one piece. Good gray array. This is the mindness. May contain radio, science, brain, arranged, liaison, good gray. Might may be game to play today. Radio, science, brain. Yes. Why, yes. It's the mystery font. 42. I think I said this before, but it's true. I'm having an episode. I'm definitely having an episode. I'm having an episode right now of Mystery Font 42. open to it. You know, it comes to it. To one who listens, it comes to it. It comes to. One comes to. One finds that something comes to you. Something's coming through. Something's coming through, something's coming true. That's not where I want to play that from, good gracious Gray. It's somewhere else. I'm learning. Oh yes, here we go. Interesting. You are the that. Wow, that's quite long. Okay. Coffee. So nice. All right.
Men are women.
Interesting, because that was recorded in the 90s, I believe, or, yeah, that would have been the early noughts or late 90s, or aughts. And, interesting. And it was actually, not only, but it was, the meaning of that was really focused, in particular, although it certainly is open to interpretation and has multiple meanings. It resonates differently now if one just hears that. And it was talking about how the prototypical developing fetus, zygote and fetus, for a while there, and kids as well, but for sure, before this differentiation of sex, that there is a substrate that looks essentially female, and that there's specialization that happens, it seems like, could be called that, to create a variant that it's male. And so potentially, we're all born of woman, in that we're also, if there's something that's human that's more everyone, that maybe men are not the center, but we're all women, and men are a specialization of that, is more true to say than the other way around. And it wouldn't be true to say it the other way around, potentially. That maybe, I think that's potentially one way to think about looking at things, as far as like what is meaning there, and how are we not being mindful of what we seem to be, and parsing what xenophobic or racist or bigoted doctrines from church or churches or religions or ideologies of hate, and scapegoating and this and that. What's there? It seems like people don't always feel exactly the same about life. We have
there's a spectrum, and that's all right. And so I guess I certainly don't mind how the song would come across today if released now, which it might be soon, but because I'll be releasing some older things like that too, and that's an interesting one because of how it reads now. Anyway, interesting. So I think kindness is not just a virtue, but it's us. It's tissue. It's us. We are a kindness come to us, or we don't know ourselves. I'm going to figure out a flow. Oh, that's right. That was the chord that I'm knitting together simple things that I haven't had arranged. And there's a slightly new setup. I'm just figuring out a new setup for how things are mapped. But it's coming together. And executive function with a newly organized space is going to be better, I believe. All right. Actually, I'm going to see if I can sort that out. Let's take a moment to consider why would someone groom people to accept an obvious lie?
I made a speech. I looked out. The field it looked like 1.5 million people. They showed a field where there were practically nobody standing there.
The new White House press secretary, Sean Spicer, gave his first press briefing. He was also highly critical of some media organisations of the way he felt they had misrepresented the number of people who'd attended Friday's inauguration ceremony.
No one had numbers because the National Park Service, which controls the National Mall, does not put any out. This was the largest audience to ever witness an inauguration, period, both in person and around the globe.
It does not excuse, and you did not answer the question.
I did answer your question.
No, you did not. You did not answer the question of why the president asked the White House press secretary to come out in front of the podium for the first time and utter a falsehood. Why did he do that? It undermines the credibility of the entire White House press office on day one.
Don't be so overly dramatic about it, Chuck. You're saying it's a falsehood, and Sean Spicer, our press secretary, gave alternative facts to that.
This was the largest ever.
The weed of crime bears bitter fruit. Crime does not pay. The shadow knows the falsehood knows. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's funny. Oh my God.
So, to my favorite people in the world, the seniors. I'm a senior.
physics
I know you
going
don't
on
know
there?
that. Nobody knows that.
I thought that
Maybe
I
you don't
was.
have to tell them, but I'm a senior.
What the
We
fuck?
are making tremendous progress
That's-
with this horrible disease that was sent over by China. China will pay a big price for what they did to the world and to us. But we have medicines right now, and I call them a cure. I went into the hospital a week ago. I was very sick, and I took this medicine, and it was incredible. It was incredible. I could have walked out the following day, sooner. It was incredible the impact it had. And we're going to make that and others that are similar to it, almost identical, we're going to make them available immediately. We have an emergency use authorization that I want to get signed immediately. The FDA has moved at a level that they've never moved before. Things that would take 2, 3, 4 years are taking a matter of weeks or even sooner than that. And that's because of me. We're taking care of our seniors. You're not vulnerable, but they like to say the vulnerable, but you're the least vulnerable. But for this one thing, you are vulnerable. And so am I. But I want you to get the same care that I got. I got incredible care at Walter Reed, incredible doctors. And this medicine in particular, one medicine was unbelievable.
Oh my
You're going to get the
goodness.
same medicine. You're going to get it free, no charge. And we're going to get it to you soon. And the nice part is it's made by a number of companies. It's totally safe, but it's powerful against this disease. So we're going to get it out to you. We're going to take care of our seniors, all free. And I just want to thank you. And what we've gone through as a country is a horrible thing. My opponent, as you know, he talks, but he never did anything in 47 years. I did more in 47 months than he did in 47 years. He just talks. It's the same old thing. If it were up to him, you wouldn't have this, you wouldn't have anywhere near it for years. They wouldn't even be talking about anything like this. He had his chance with H1N1 swine flu, and it was one of the great disasters. He didn't know what he was doing. But I do know what I'm doing. And the seniors are going to be taken care of, and then everybody's going to be taken care of. And it's coming out really fast. So thank you very much. We love you. We love America.
Yes, the mindness. The mindness at the mystery font. What? This place? That's what this place is. What? What? All right. I've remembered something about what this place is. Feel free to move freely about the cabin. All right. We are once again at the Chronicle. Not only a chronicle, but chronicles are never only chronicles. And there are different types. This is radio, science, brain. It is mindness made into aim, into aid. It is caterwaul from this bay. It is artistic document. It is artistic journalism. As my canary is spraying forth, this is what I see as the tea very, the very tea. Good gray array, gray bee, be thee. And what is a resistance, actually? Imagination may be game to play, remain this agent of change, hold the rein. Imagination ain't mine made me hold on loosely, but don't let go. If you cling too tightly, you're gonna lose control. Imagination may be old, radio science brain. Imagination may be game. I'm gonna radiate, I'm gonna radio grade, patternicity made, waking wax out of wane, so we wade. Imagination might make a made. This is the minus made, life contained, radio science brain. Particle matter wave, this is the minus chaos came to play. Imagination aim. Particle matter wave, be nature, your creature would aim into phrase, into frame, into craving ache, amaze, a make, imagination may begin. Imagination imagination made. Particle, matter, wave, now like we make behave, become tidal wave, come came today to play, imagine life's made fate, like, but not by pre-knife, by action we wisely bike from this to wise wake, awake our boat makes imagination ache. Particle, matter, wave, be nature, your creator would make. This is the mind that's made me, bespoke and bespake. Imagination aid, cantankerous, can take us, but won't take it away. In fact, won't take us, we're anchors. Imagination aim might make us safe. Imagination can be wings. Imagination can make helium lift things. Contain arrangement, contain contagion, contain emancipation's main frame. As in, let's make sincere the sustained radio science brain. Imagination may begin to play. You are evident. We have this parliament across time and space. We have it through space. Mind may sculpt through that main frame of a field through space and time. Our brains know those trails in fields. Our minds wield the mind wields. Imagination ache, cantankerous ache, might make us be nature. Our ape would ache. Radio science craving be named. Be activation of nature. Your creature would ape. Radio science brain. The mind made this an aerial shape. I'm hovering over it. I'm hovering mowers don't mow it. Emaciated can be freighted. Management of pain can be better. Just we can ameliorate this. We can stop farming humans. That would be humane. Radio science brain. Emancipation. Emancipation was to become particle, matter, wave. Now like we make behavior behave. Radio science brain to nature. Ape this maybe game into gesture and play. Be birthed, be birthed, be naissance itself. Imagine a bellwether elf. Emancipation Aid. Living a radiate, particle matter wave, living a bandwidth, main freight, deliver to deliberate, emancipatriate, emancipatriate, emancipate, wake, ameliorate. We need not suffer, need a state. Imagination may be named. If we matter, we are the matter that scatters patterns to data. Contact, contact action, it's past into act, it's actioned. Emancipatriate, mind-made freight. You are the sentient freight. Deliberate. Emancipation grade, cold case, mind-made. Emancipation grade, cold case update. Radio science, brain, particle matter wave. This is the mind this love creates. And beast in this space. All right then. Good gray array. Mind play, mind say, mind way. You know, that was rather a radio science brain, that. That was definitely radio science brain. It is never quite the same. And that was definitely one of them. That just happened, essentially. That was from this space in which we are asking who is the falsehood. That was an unmasking of the verity. And actually, good gray, good gray, good gray, good gray, good gray.
The falsehood will demonize.
It's true. It's interesting. It's an interesting point. It's nasty, that. And it's true. Ah, that's right. We haven't really done a direct news update. I know we can report that Donald Trump, Roger Stone, and Stephen Miller remain at large. It seems Donald Trump, Roger Stone, and Stephen Miller remain at large. That special report again Donald Trump, Roger Stone, and Stephen Miller, M, remain at large. We will get through this time together. It's going to be all right. We will be safe in time. And that. Good gray array. Good gray. Good gray. Good. I think that there are moments when the liaised gray array of all minds imagining democracy has a jolt, and maybe like someone carrying a massively wide plate of water, trying to keep it from spilling over an edge while going around a corner, slowly, walking, barefoot. That subtle shifts and a lack of mindfulness can create kind of havoc, relatively speaking. How do we knit executive function? How do we mint it out of thin air when we become afraid, when anxiety comes in? I think having a readout helps. I think having a reboot sequence helps. That's what I find. And so I have a reboot sequence in mind that helps with mindfulness. Because really, it's important to, I think, to offset some of the apprehension to be functional in order to do something about it. That we have to somewhat offset or say we will mourn when it is possible, or we will we'll let this land emotionally to the extent that we can do that once everybody's home tonight, and we make sure we there's gas in the cars and everything, we're ready for tomorrow. Then let's process. But processing and rest, recovery, and truly processing trauma, it's essential. We may not be able to see what's in front of us unless we are doing the work of processing trauma and getting the space and conditions around us we need to do that successfully. It's all right to ask for what you need. In fact, I say to myself, I think we're being degraded and trained to really expect less of ourselves and of one another and of what a union of people who think differently about things but hold to some things, and what the things we say we hold ourselves to, or that we hold it true to be. That we hold that they're inalienable rights. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And those do not just apply to men. They do not just apply to white men. And they don't just apply to men. In fact, if anything, human beings are essentially women and specialized versions of women, it could be argued. if we take the song that I just played a while ago, I found that track that just happened to talk about how we all look female in the womb. And that before there's differentiation there, and mirrored through life a bit as well, we have reason not to be afraid of where and how there are ambiguities or differences or anomalies, or that nature is vast and there is diversity in nature. I think it's really wise to be aware of people who are scapegoating others, because folks who are scapegoating others they don't really understand the intolerance paradox or the tolerance paradox, or won't live within it. Because I think that's about, we will be tolerant of everything, of anything except intolerance. And it's incredibly simple and not necessarily easy to follow. But that's kind of the point too, that if we're actually mindfully caring, that's part of our rubric, at least, of how we see this, a lens we look through to know we're doing things well and right and justly. We've literally been, humanity has been brought to its knees, submitting to someone who is behaving in ways that put someone in jail. He's saying, I'm coming back to make an honest woman of the person that I abused, who's trying to get a restraining order against me. Who is saying no, whose family is saying, why are you banging on our door? We told you to never come back. We're trying to get the authorities involved so you don't have a way to control us anymore. And the person banging on the door is saying, this is marriage interference. This is how someone who wants to connect in relationship in good faith acts. We need evidence. We need to start thinking about evidence that we require as a country. Not very much energy has been expended on talking about what we should be expecting. And that's submission. If we are not totally entranced by the absolute programming of almost every pundit out there, and saying with every revelation, especially revelations about legal issues or Trump being held accountable, it's not, well, help us understand this. What does this mean? So this sounds like this is a legitimate case. Is there a reason to believe there's corruption here? Is there, can you tell us about what was decided? What came through? But instead of helping in a moment when people really actually need information, like if there's a hope that somebody can hear that he was held accountable for hundreds of millions of dollars, whatever side of any of this they're on, in terms of their predisposed notions or their allegiance or feelings, at that moment, there's an opportunity for help. Because the facts are game-changing and life-breaking. Because if I'm reading the program right, the question is always, instead of asking, what does this mean? We go directly to a reinstitution of horse race by saying, is this going to be good for Donald Trump? As if that's, they might as well be saying, well, like, and let's look at the thermometer on the fascist meter, like, or let's look at the thermometer on the cult of personality meter. Is it getting bigger? Is this going to make people go crazier? That's not, you're losing track of the ball. If the person is saying, along with an organization of fascist foundations, if the Heritage Foundation is talking about cementing a Nazi dictatorship, essentially. Are we gaslit into being frozen? This is real. People who say this stuff are the people who want to do that stuff. The people who are threatening harm and violence want to do that, or want to see people do that. We have to stand for a basic standard of communication that's in good faith, in part so that we're able to call it out when it's not there. We have to have standards and we have to foster trust. Like it was just invented and proven to save the world because it can. That's how we were ever able to build anything. It takes real courage. It takes incredible courage to sit with the pain of looking back at when we've been hurt. But looking back at things like Trump saying he would keep us in suspense, or the first time that he kind of walked back his apology after the insurrection and started saying it wasn't bad and he didn't do anything wrong. Those are shocking boundary violations meant to degrade us, demoralize us, and break us. And it seems like it's nearly worked, because we're kind of just submitted to the idea that he should be allowed to run and not paying attention to the fact that we're shaking off a massive concussion and the person who hit us is coming back, saying, it's marriage interference to try to hold me accountable for telling you I would take you over and I get to grab you. I joked that I wouldn't leave if you didn't want me to, and I didn't. And, now I'm actually telling you I didn't do anything wrong. Well, I'm coming back too. Who says that? Who says that? That's Harvey Weinstein breaking out and showing up at somebody's door. That's not a thing. That's us watching while our abuser does it again. We are in an abusive relationship with the disgraced former president of the United States. It is a serious issue that a nation that has self-respect should be able to meet. It's not easy, but we can prehend and apprehend the falsehood. We are the kind panopticon.
having a good relationship with Russia is a good thing, not a bad thing.
You've said you have no investments in Russia, but do you owe any money to Russian individuals and institutions?
No.
None.
The primary thing I did with Russia, I bought a house in Palm Beach out of bankruptcy. It was a bankrupt, person. I bought it from the banks. I bought it for about $40 million. I sold it for $100 million to a Russian. That was probably 5 years ago, and that was primarily it.
You partnered
now,
with
will I
Russians on the
sell?
Soho Grand. the
Will I
Toronto-
sell? Oh, many years ago. I don't think they're Russian. I think there were other people, but there were various partners. Will I sell condos to Russians on occasion? Probably. I mean, I do that. I have a lot of condos. I do that. But I have no relationship to Russia whatsoever.
No debts.
No debts. I have very little debt to anybody. I don't need debt. You know, it's very interesting. I'm so liquid, I don't need debt. And if I need debt, if I want debt, I can get it from banks in New York City very easily.
You know where I'm going to take this next. Americans could be assured on that if they saw your tax returns.
My tax returns are very simple. They're under a minor audit, routine audit, as they have been for many years. Every year I get audited. Now, I don't know if you get audited, but I have friends that are very wealthy that never have been audited. I say, do you get audited? I get audited every year. I'm under a routine audit, like routine. And I have been for years, every year.
But there are
If
several
it's
years
finished,
that are no longer
George,
under
here's
that
very
audit.
simple. Yeah, but they're all linked. It's called the link. It's very simple. If my audit's finished, that's great. Now, I have to tell you, I watched Mitt Romney 4 years ago. He waited till September to give him, just before the election. They made him look so bad. It was so unfair. I actually think he didn't lose because of the 47%. I think he lost because of a couple of really minor items in a tax return where he did nothing wrong. So it is unfair. But I will say, when I'm finished with the audit, I'll do it.
Richard Nixon released his even though his were under audit.
Don't use Richard Nixon as necessarily the guide, okay? I mean, you know, it's an interesting person to use, but don't use it.